The willingness to deny oneself, take up one's cross daily to follow Jesus, Luke 9:23, will lead to being dead to sin, see Romans 6:2 and 1 Peter 2:24. A servant of God can totally stop lying willfully, like cheating on a tax return year after year. That person, knowing right from wrong, can stop willfully making the wrong choice to do evil, sin. Is it okay for a brother or sister to struggle with cheating on their tax return? Will Jesus say, "Well done, good and faithful servant," to them? Where does it end when we open that struggling with sin door? Struggling with sin is not a biblical concept. It's just in the modern Christian jargon. In the Bible we find calls to repentance, and the expected result is to come clean with God and stop rebellion, idolatry, abominations, wickedness, sin. The people in Nineveh repented at the preaching of Jonah. They did not declare a struggling with sin crisis. That would have not spared their city. They stopped their willful sins, see Matthew 12:41 and Jonah 3:10. If we can all agree on what struggling with sin means, then to me it's not fighting the good fight against sin. It's being beat up and defeated and taken captive by sin, a situation that salvation through Jesus precisely is supposed to have addressed. I understand it as the opposite of overcoming sin, because I have never heard of someone who is struggling with sin who would claim to be overcoming sin as is expected of Jesus followers who are no longer under the power of sin when they are under grace. For sin will not have dominion over you. For you are not under the law, but under grace, Romans 6:14. It's either we are talking about a sinner who needs to get once saved, or a backslider who has left the right way of obedience to God leading to righteousness and went back to walking in sin, being under the power of sin, like a sinner who had never encountered Jesus, see 2 Peter 2:20-22 and Romans 6:2. There is nothing in the Bible that associates such a situation of struggling with sin with living for God, or what we can call the new life in Jesus, Romans 6:4, whether it's struggling with porn watching, fornication, stealing or any addiction. Continuing in sin is not expected for someone who has become a follower of Jesus, walking in the freedom that he gives, see John 8:36. One can either follow Jesus or follow after sin, not both at the same time. That's being double-minded. James 4:8. Draw near to God and he will draw near to you. Cleanse your hands, you sinners, and purify your hearts, you double-minded. Romans 6:16-18. Do you not know that to whom you present yourselves slaves to obey, you are that one slaves whom you obey, whether of sin leading to death, or of obedience leading to righteousness? But God be thanked that though you were slaves of sin, yet you obeyed from the heart that form of doctrine to which you were delivered. And having been set free from sin, you became slaves of righteousness.